Let me tell you something. Cancer is something that really makes people stop living. Like literally, people's life is miserable. But overthinking is another cancer that the world hasn't discovered. The mind is not blessed with the ability to determine the future. What the mind knows is now. The problems the mind is able to solve are the now problems, because it's not gifted to know the future. So it's very absurd for you to use this mind, which hasn't been gifted to know the future, to solve the problems of the future. Why are you overthinking? Why are you overthinking? One of the causes of overthinking is lack of spirituality in your life. When you are not spiritual at all, when you do not know that there is a power that can solve things that are beyond you, then you are bound to want to overthink them. You are bound to want to overthink through them, because you believe your mind that doesn't know the future can somehow solve the problems in the future. So one of the biggest solutions to overthinking is having a spiritual life. Personally, what works for me is meditation. The mind is conditioned to want to solve whichever problem is in front of it. Even if something is not a problem, we are conditioned to want to make a problem out of everything. Someone will literally say something like, you're not good enough. Like they'll just say it. Your mind will want to like go deeply into that and try to find out, why did they say I'm not good enough, and try to create problems around that. And before you know it, you are overthinking, and you're giving your whole attention, your whole focus to that overthinking mind, which is going to ruin you pretty much. Listen to spiritual teachers. Personally, my spiritual teacher is Eckhart Tolle. You could make research. Does prayer work for you? Then use prayer. Does spirituality work for you? Listen to spiritual teachers. Personally, I love to listen to Eckhart Tolle's YouTube videos because they help me quite a lot when it comes to overthinking. Listen to what he's saying. Does Michael Allen Singer work for you? Listen to him. Does the Wizard Liz work for you? Listen to her. Don't just listen because you're enjoying. No, try to put into practice whatever they are saying. Whatever your spiritual teacher is saying, what are they saying to you? Put it into practice. Let me tell you something. Cancer is something that really makes people stop living. Like literally, people's life is miserable. But overthinking is another cancer that the world hasn't discovered. Overthinking is something that is literally going to stop you from enjoying any little thing, because you're trying to reason out everything in this world. Somehow your mind wants to reason it out. You cannot take action because you're going to overthink the action that you're going to take until you feel like you can't take it really, until your mind comes up with a solution that this is never going to work out. And overthinking most of the times is aimed at the negativity. Like the mind doesn't want to like focus on the good things. No, it wants to overthink the bad things. Even when something is good, imagine like you've achieved your dream, you wanted to become, let me say, like a doctor, you have the bachelor's, you have a job. The mind will want to like overthink that until it reaches a point where you feel like, what if I lose this job? And then the mind wants to solve that problem of the future that isn't happening now, but is happening in the future, and the mind wants to solve it. Oh, you're enjoying, okay, you're having a little bit of fun. What if something happens? What if you get an accident? And now you're overthinking, what if I get an accident? How will I handle that problem? Do you get my point? So spirituality is something, for me, meditation is what I'm going to give attention to, because it's something that has really worked for me. It is something that is going to calm your mind down. Like when you are not taking action, when you're not doing anything, then you are here now. You can focus your attention somewhere else, not the mind, because the mind will never stop. The mind will always come up with different things to distort you. It wants like, hey, there's this problem, you haven't solved it. Even now as I'm talking, my mind is trying to come up with different things. Like the neighbor, I think she hates you, or that one. You get, like the mind is always like disturbed. It always wants, but for you to be able to fully live, to not let it disrupt how you live your everyday life, you have got to put your attention somewhere else. And that is what we call meditation. But a spiritual life, spiritual guidance, believing that there is a bigger power than you. It is something that is going to solve the problem of overthinking. Because when you know that there is a power that is bigger than you, then you know you are guided. Then you won't want to get the solution from your mind, but you keep going on like about your day. If taking a walk is something that is going to calm you down, then you're going to take a walk. If whatever you do and is going to calm you down, you're going to do that, because you do know for sure that there is a bigger power that guides you. And when you let God, when you let that bigger power that is bigger than us guide you, you will see signs of what you're supposed to do. Sometimes they may come in a good way, sometimes they come in not so much of a good way. That's the world we live in. But you will see the signs, and then you will know that, wow, this is what I'm supposed to do, without you having to sit down and overthink your mind. Because overthinking is not even healthy for your mental. It's not. It's one of the causes of mental problems. And some people even resort to things like drugs, alcoholism, because of their overthinking mind, because they are looking for something that is going to calm their mind down, believing that there is a bigger power than you, a bigger force that can handle things that are beyond your control. A bigger force, a bigger power, a God that can handle your tomorrow is something that is going to solve your overthinking now. It is something that is going to calm you down. So what are you supposed to do as a person? Be here now. Whatever you're doing, give it your best. If you do not have what to do, then meditate. God always pulls up. The universe always pulls up. Your mind doesn't want to believe it, that the universe is going to help you, because it is too stubborn to believe it. But the universe always shows up and helps us. God always shows us and helps us. He always shows up. Even during your worst days, you always get relief, like somehow things happen, and before you know it, you're feeling better. Most of us have been there, and we're like, this is too hard. How will I solve it? How will I handle it? How will I go through this? But then before you know it, you actually went through it, and you don't even know how you really did it, but you actually did it. That is the power of God. But the mind wants to, most of the times, our mind wants to like disclaim, or it doesn't want to recognize the struggles we've been through and like give credit to that. No, it wants to focus on the future problems. That is how we are programmed. Like it wants to focus on the problems that have not happened. It doesn't want to focus on like the problems we've solved. You get? It doesn't want to focus on the problems the universe has helped us solve. No, it wants to focus on what hasn't happened. Oh, this hasn't happened. Or I haven't solved this problem. I haven't solved that problem. How will I solve all these problems? You get? That is how the mind is programmed to work. And somehow your stress will never end. You don't even recognize your ability to, you don't even like give thanks for having gone through those problems, but you focus on the problems that have not happened. You really need to focus on today's problems, because tomorrow's problems, God is going to give you strength to solve them. The universe is going to give you strength to solve them. Problems are part of the world. If you're to think about the different problems, you will never be able to solve all of them. Like you will never be able to solve all the problems in this world. At every level there is different problems. If you're poor, then there is a problem. Even when you are rich, there are still different problems. The mind will somehow, the mind is programmed never to like even recognize how good you are, what you've been through already. It always wants more and more and more and more, and somehow it keeps creating more and more and more and more and more problems that it even doesn't have the capability to solve, unless you have like a spiritual power behind you. Zero down life on now, right now. The universe has a purpose for each and every one of us. If we surrender to the universe, if we surrender to her power, then she's going to use us to perform her duty. She's going to use us to perform her purpose. The problem is that we want to trust our mind more than we trust the universe. We want to trust our mind more than we trust God. It's okay to not have it figured out. It's okay to not know what tomorrow holds. As long as you have that trust in the universe, that everything will be okay, everything will be sorted. But the universe has her ways, which she will use to provide for us. Those who trust the universe, those who trust the Lord, are not going to get disappointed. But those who want to trust in their own power suffer so much. Most of us suffer so much because we don't want to give this universe a chance to work on us. We are frightened that she cannot solve our problems. We are frightened because we don't trust her. That universe has all the answers. Why are you overthinking? Why are you trying to reason out everything? Don't you know the universe is dying to use you? While trying to rely on your own power, you're going to suffer and suffer and suffer until you realize there is a helper. And that helper is the power beyond you. And that helper is the universe. And that helper is God.